for Trash to Treasure. In this episode, we will see a Sony Business Executive tape recorder that was in the garbage. This is a Sony Executive BM, which stands for Business Machine 11 cassette tape recorder. The machine has a leather case which, ooh boy, is that in bad shape. But the machine itself is now functional. This is a dictation machine. It was designed for business use only. There is a battery compartment here, and the batteries slide out, and part of the reason why it was in the trash was that one of these contacts here had corroded. Somebody left the batteries in the machine and they leaked, causing the corrosion. The machine has a flip-up lid, pop-up cassette. Record button is called DICT, D-I-C-T, and that means dictation. This is a pause control. You push it down for stop, push it up for start. Volume control, there is stop, rewind, forward, and fast forward cue. If you hold the button down for fast forward cue, all it does is speed up the machine in playback mode. If you use it as regular fast forward, it works as regular fast forward. On the back, there's input for a 6-volt power supply and a microphone with remote control and an earphone or speaker output. There's also a little 3-digit tape counter for indexing. The machine did not work at all when I got it. Not only was the battery compartment suffering from corrosion, but the belt on the inside of the machine had stretched and was not functioning, and the amplifier was dead. Let's take a tour of the inside. This is the underside of the Sony, showing the rather complicated mechanism. This machine uses 4 belts. There's a belt here that drives the take-up reel idler and the feed reel idler. There's a belt here that runs around the capstan and travels through the stabilization idler, and it turns to go to the motor pulley, which is located here. The motor is horizontal and tangential to the transmission of power, so the belt has to twist. There is also a belt here which is driven by the feed reel to a tiny idler that's located here, and from there a belt moves down the line to a 3-digit tape counter. This is the operation in fast forward. The motor is driving the capstan and its stabilization flywheel, plus the idler, which runs the take-up reel table. In play, the motor runs the capstan flywheel through the idler. The idler for the take-up table has less friction against the take-up table so that it is allowed to have slippage, but it still pulls the tape. Rewind, the button has to be held down. This idler moves and engages a wheel that is located at the bottom side of the feed table. At the same time, it drives the belt that runs the 3-digit tape counter. We're looking at the inside of the back of the machine with the amplifier board replaced. There's a speaker is right here, the motor is right here, there is a battery compartment here, and there are 2 adjustable back bearings. One is for the capstan and one is for the idler, that special idler that they made to keep the belt in position and to help the capstan keep smooth drive. There is also a very, very tiny speed control located here. This is a socket for a tripod. The cover of the machine is a plate which slides under the front bezel, presses down, and then the back bezel goes in place and locks it together. We're looking at the cassette section of the machine with the decorative plate removed. No mechanical parts are available in this view. Here is the motor, here is the pinch roller, capstan, record playhead, and a magnet which acts as an erase head. This is the rewind spindle, this is the fast forward spindle. This is the trigger for the auto stop. When pressed in play, obviously the pinch roller comes forward, the record playhead comes forward, the trigger comes forward, but not the erase magnet. That remains in its current position. When the machine is put into record, exactly the same thing happens, but now the little magnet used as an erase head also comes forward. Obviously, the best test of a dictation machine is to dictate something. So here we go. The dictation button actually is the same as a record button. We're going to do the internal mic, and then we're going to do an external mic. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. I'm speaking into the electret condenser. I'm speaking into the electret condenser microphone. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 Let's see what that did. Before we do, let's move over to the external mic. Now we are using the external microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the end of the test with the external microphone. Press stop. Press rewind. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. I'm speaking into the electret condenser. I'm speaking into the electret condenser microphone. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 Let's see what that did. Before we do, let's move over to the Now we're using the external microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the end of the test with the external microphone. So it's obvious from listening to that they put in a very good internal microphone for dictation purposes. This is a business machine. It's not designed for music. It will play music. It does have a low wow and flutter rating on it, but it doesn't have a high fidelity response. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. And who knows what I'll find in the next adventure of Trash to Treasure.